Thanks for staying with us. Now, Debola Daniel, son of former Ogun State Governor Gbenga Daniel, has brought to light an alarming incident where he was denied access to the KFC branch in Lagos State due to his disability. Taking to his Twitter page, he shared his distressing experience, detailing the humiliation he endured at the hands of KFC staff. He lamented the systemic discrimination faced by disabled individuals in Nigeria, highlighting the need for societal change and inclusivity. Now, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAAN, had since shut down the particular branch, and that's, raised a lot of thoughts on social media. So tell us what you think about this and join the conversation and call us on 081-076-41679 and 0902-416-3440. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag your view on TVC. There was a major uproar. A lot of people were talking about this, that apparently he had gone to the KFC while he was waiting for his flight, I believe. And then the staff, one of the staff had told him off, you're not supposed to be here because of his disability. And he took to his Twitter page to announce it. And before you realized it, investigation had commenced. According to the papers I took this morning, I read the story anyway. Investigation had commenced, and then the KFC outlet at the airport was, shut down based off of this. So I'd like to know what you think. I personally have seen a lot of guests who have living one form of disability or the other come on set here and talk about how they find it difficult to navigate some areas. It seems like Nigeria is not ready for people who are living with disabilities. The airports, we had one guest woman who was treated so bad in an international flight. She came here to share her story, and it just seems like we are still not ready, and a lot of people are not aware on how to relate with these people. Even if you don't have the proper training, common sense will tell you that some things, if you are not sure, you can ask. Empathy will tell you there are some things you should not do. If you're not sure, you can ask your supervisor, how do we deal with this sort of situation? But let me come to the ladies. What are your thoughts on what happened?
Okay, so my grouse with the issue is the politicizing of the issue itself. At the time young Mr. Daniel went to the airport, he did not write Gbenga Daniel's son on his back.
Exactly.
He was a human being on a wheelchair with a bit of difficulty because he has to wheel himself in. And you'd expect that every human being, whether staff or non-staff of KFC, would be responding to that need. It's just natural to want to help somebody that has a bit of disability. Maybe if he had an issue climbing up the stairs, you can ask, what would you like? I can, just be empathetic. But when he now posted that tweet, Nigerians went to go and dig up the father and left the issue. They say pikin for. You say the mama waka, she back him, she hold him. People started talking all sorts of things.
Okay, sorry.
They say the child fell. You start to address whether the mother was around, whether the mother is busy, whether she's a good mother,
whether the child is 18,
whether the mother is a good mother. Why is she not carrying the child? The child that fell, you left the child.
Sure.
The way we act. When I read it, I just stopped because this season I don't want to too much toxic things. Just try as much as possible to keep myself in one small cocoon and hide myself. I did not push it further. I kept seeing the story popping up. Somebody is addressing something that's important, and you left the issue because we cannot debate the fact that he's in a wheelchair. That's a lifelong issue, a disability he's living with. You left it and you went to the father because we are looking for every opportunity to get the politicians, and so their children, we must sacrifice them.
I think the customer care environment in Nigeria is very harsh.
Very.
We are not just getting it right because this is another incident from that Erisco food something that just happened recently and all. He came in fact, he's even supposed to be the first person to be attended to because he's disabled. So you should be the first person to be attended to.
Yes.
You're supposed to have empathy. This guy, look at us, hurry up, go and attend to him and
make
all
sure
of
it's
that,
comfortable.
which is okay. But, you know, at the end of the day, you now go and tell him wheelchairs are not. So he's not entirely, he shouldn't be hungry. He can't be hungry because he's disabled or what. You understand? So these things, and we don't even see it around here in Nigeria. I don't see where they are being considered. Like maybe when you go to shopping malls or you go to, you know, transport or whatever, they are not considered in anything. Most of these disabled people, I don't even see them around like that. I'm sure they are ashamed. They are just sitting down in the house, you know, they are ashamed of doing things and all. So yeah, I think this is a welcome development coming from him, coming out to come and say this now. At least the government should start thinking of including them in stuff, making sure that they are part of things.
Yeah. Okay. So when I first heard the story, I was like, is it really a KFC policy not to allow people, or not allow wheelchairs? Because they said that the person insisted, the manager insisted, or the person claiming to be manager insisted that no wheelchairs were allowed. So I just went, I tried to do a few research. KFC, United States, I think that's where they started from, and their wheelchair policies. And I saw lots of complaints here and there about KFC, especially when it comes to customer service. But it was, I did not see anywhere where it showed that that was their policy. So I now, because a part of when I first heard it, I said, Niger, I know how Nigerians can be. It may not be any policy, it may have been maybe something which she did not understand. And then she made it deal with it. Yeah, and then she now made it. We've seen it too many times. You enter a shop and somebody will tell you, please, you cannot sit there. Or you cannot stand there. And you know it has nothing to do with the shop. It has nothing to do with what you're selling. Yes, the person will be like, that's what our madam says. And you know that it has nothing to do with what your madam says. Just overzealous and not properly educated, under-trained staff sometimes can cause you all sorts of wahala. These people, I'm not even going to call their names because of the politicizing of it. I'm going to call them people, Nigerians, these Nigerians that were involved in this, try to explain to her, why this may not be the right way to go. She didn't get it. And for me, that's what's even sad, because even if it was a policy, if she had the proper education, if she had common sense, she would have realized something. I'm like, this is uncomfortable. It should have been uncomfortable to her as a human being to refuse someone who has to use a wheelchair to access their premises, services. It shows that even her as a person, she was not really thinking about it.
Did you see the video?
I saw her. I thought she was quite adamant. Yes. She was quite adamant. She was very sure. Yeah, that this is not allowed. That's our policy. We don't allow wheelchair. Yeah. For me, that she kept saying it over and over again. Not once did it click to her that, my God, what am I saying?
Because she was
a lion that was on the wheelchair. No, the thing is, she doesn't think
it's a detrimental thing to say.
Thank you. She did not realize that was
that you're talking to a human.
Goofing upon goofing. And you're not hearing yourself. You're not hearing yourself.
But I think they must have told her that.
No, I don't think so. I think
the way she was saying it, she was very sure.
I never see people who believe in them.
Because they came back.
So,
can
I finish? Yeah, finish, please. Okay, so there's something that we also have as Nigerians where we do not put the needs of people living with disabilities at the fore. Yeah. So we have talked many times on this table about creating ramps so that they can, have access. We talk about different things that we need to put in many Nigerian establishments. I don't know if we have any toilet facilities for those who use wheelchairs. So that mentality, that's why someone like that, who calls herself a manager of an international franchise, can stand and open her mouth, not realizing that she's committing the biggest goof on international space in the world.
Yeah, because she thought
it was a thing. She thought it was something that she could be proud of. This is our business place, and we're not going to allow you with your wheelchair to come in. So now what this has done is that it has allowed for this to become a national conversation. Yeah. And I believe, and I also like the government stance immediately on it, because it sent a very strong message. Yeah. But I hope that it doesn't end there. I hope that this means now putting in places of business, access for those living with disabilities. Yes, I like how you said it. But when we come back, we'll also talk about the government's action if, shutting down that establishment at the time was like the right thing to do? Could there have been another way to do it? But the conversation continues when we come back. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.